Now we would like to introduce Uma Sharma, disability expert and psychologist. Mrs. Uma Sharma is a disability expert and master trainer with SCPW. She is a psychologist and certified NLP master practitioner. She is an empaneled faculty member of the Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai for Early Childhood Development Program. Mrs. Uma is a master trainer or read-on by Orange Neurosciences, Canada, and an advanced cognitive remediation for people with special needs. She holds an she holds a professional degree as a master's in computer applications with experience of teaching as associate professor in various colleges of Vizag, Mumbai, Pune, and Delhi in the field of IT and business administration. She is also a certified researcher in protecting human research participants from the National Institute of Health, US. Have been published in the book of Military Psychology and Leadership Development as co-author, which is in use as a textbook at premier institutes like the US Naval War College, the Belgium Defense Academy, and the Norwegian Defense University, and other books. Being a military spouse, she has more than 20 years experience working in different sectors of IT, disability, and mental health. Ma'am will be talking about understanding disability and accessibility, or disability, a global scenario. We feel glad to have you amongst us, ma'am. Please take over.
Welcome so much.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for a wonderful introduction. I think it's more than what you need to know as of now. First of all, I must congratulate Dr. Shalini for your book. It's really nice, and really congratulate you to arrange this webinar. At this time, as people have been talking since morning, I can imagine that how students must be really tired with.
Yeah, my students. It's all because of the efforts being, and all the efforts of my students that we are able to conduct this today webinar.
Yeah,
We've been working really hard.
Yes. Yes. So now I will be talking. See, we have been using a lot of heavy stuff. So I'll be talking very basic. I'm a psychologist, so I understand the other perspective also. Since morning, everybody is listening about accessibility, disability, and inclusion, and they all are big people and talking, something. See how much your students are aware, and at present, how much they need to know. They will get to know everything, slowly. Lot of information overload. I felt, even I listened, I think 2-3 sessions, and I was like, okay, this is happening. So nice, good to know. But at the same time, we can keep it little at lower level also, so that from there we will start. Okay, so I'm not talking about the global scenario. I will be talking about the local scenario. Okay. So I need to. I'm not able to see.
Maybe
How to
start
just.
with
Yeah, I'm just seeing that how to. Okay. Okay, so this, see, I'm so used to, because I'm a faculty in college, so I'm so used to having an interactive session, like I'm asking questions and they are, so that I get to know that at what level I need to start. But it's okay. We'll have a question answer round in the end of
the end. Yeah,
session?
yeah, the end. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, have you ever heard, like I'm talking with students, impairment, disability, and handicap. We use these terms within each other. That he's handicapped, he's disabled, or he has some impairment. I will not tell you the difference because everybody is giving the lecture. This is your homework, because I start like this. Note down this question and find out. If you can't, you will get my email ID and then you can ask the question. There is a difference. They all are interrelated, but you should know when you are talking. I will be talking little more about etiquettes of disability, which we don't know actually when we are dealing with the person with disability, how we need to behave. Very simple things. Okay. Anyways, I'm starting with the mission. It started for, like, people are talking about Skill India mission when our prime minister started seeing the the gap, to bridge the gap basically between skilled unskilled manpower and the requirement. The supply was not there when they used to go to industry and find that there is nothing in between. They are not skilled. So bridge the gap, it started in 2014 with Skill India mission. Before that, actually, I think in previous PPT, I saw that they shared the 2.68 crore disability, that population was shown in census 2011. It will be definitely much more now. And that segment is sitting idle, not doing anything, not contributing in economic growth. So that's why it was thought that responsibility is there for government, but it was not taken earlier seriously. After that, they started working on it. Skill India mission came. Now, such a big population and not doing anything, sitting illiterate, idle, marginalized, mostly poor. Then what happened? They started with 30, almost 38 sectors, all sectors of different sectors, like you can say IT sector, management sector, apparel, beauty, all these sectors. And so this was started for people without disability, not for disability, with disability, in 2014 November. And then it was realized, they noticed that people with disability come in every sector in very small amount, like only few people were working here and there, and they were not oriented about what kind of work they need to do in organizations. They were not skilled. They wanted to earn money, but they could not because there was a gap. After that, inception of SCPWD started, Skill Council for Persons with Disability, in which I'm a master trainer. So I'll be sharing my PPT now. Okay. So now I will be talking a little more about what exactly it is. What do we work here? What are we doing? What this Skill Council Person with Disability is doing at present. So how it started, can I shift this screen? Oh, yeah, thank you. So Skill India mission, as I said, Government of India initiative to bridge the gap. A separate ministry, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE, came into the picture, which was there for without disability people. Then, how to put next slide? It's not going to next slide. Okay. we have already covered. Okay, so with MSDE, NSDC, आपने जो पहला अभी, I think before me, the person who was talking from NSDC only, then Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, CII, they all came together under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and this Skill India mission took place. After SEPWD was incepted, problem was how to train people with disability, because they were there in all sectors. So all sectors they are working vertically, like, you know, the management sector will work only in management sector, the IT sector will work only in IT sector, but people with disability were there in all sectors. So that's why all skill councils are called skill councils. All sectors are called skill councils. Only SEPWD is called sector skill council. Sorry, I just said the opposite. Others are sector skill council, and this is skill council. This is a horizontal organization. Now you need to see, yes. How does it work? The skill ecosystem. NSDA is National Skill Development Agency, which is looking for policy making. National Skill Development Corporation is basically working. These are the functions of MSDE, functional arms basically, they all work together. So implementation work came for NSDC, and National Skill Development Fund is looking for basically funding issues. So now NSDC, how does it work? Sector Skills Councils, all Sector Skills Councils are working under NSDC, and all Sector Skills Councils have training partners and assessment agencies. What are these working? I will tell you one by one. So training partners, what do they do? Training partners train persons with disability to go and work in industries. Requirements are given as per industry requirements by the industry. SEPWD takes that into the picture. Then they mobilize training partners to train persons with disability so that they get skilled and they go back to industry and work efficiently. Now it's a very this is just one work I'm talking about. These are the main 5 focuses SEPWD is putting on. First is mobilizing training partners. Different agencies are there all over India. Those who are training persons with disability in their skill centers. Once their training is completed, assessors come from different assessing agencies. They assess whether student or the participant who has been trained, at what level they have been trained. So standards, there are some standards, NSQF level of learners, we all are aware about it. They check whether they are being trained properly or not. The training partners, those who are providing these trainings, they are having national occupation standards or not. All these assessors go and check. SEPWD is playing a big role in that. They are managing the entire showing. Then adopting the appropriate job roles, as I said, from different sector skill councils and aligning it with disability. which generally like, in training centers is being done. Now, who will train the person with disability? In all sector skill councils, you have sales trainers, you have, IT trainers, but who will train the person with disability when you are not even aware about, how to talk, how to train, how to deal with them? So here comes the training of trainers and assessors. So there is a different course. It has been, from NSDC, it has been devised that every person who will be dealing with any person with disability should be certified from SCPWD. So they come, we train them what are the disabilities and how to go about it, all type of acts and everything, whatever is required. It is a 4 days training for trainers and 4 days for assessors, and then they are being certified as to deal, they are certified trainers to deal with persons with disability. And then next focus is on employment support for PWDs. SCPWD, they deal with employers, they talk to them, they are, arranging fairs in which they invite employers. They tell about the requirements of PWDs and how they are being, SCPWD is being helping them to empower and then support them in employment. So at present, SCPWD is working only with few. Like I think you must have got to know by now since morning that there are 21 disabilities as have been added in recent act, the new act. So SCPWD is working as of now only in these disabilities: visual impairment, which comes like blindness and low vision, hearing impairment, speech and language impairment, and locomotor disability. So in locomotor disability, there are different segments like leprosy cured person, cerebral palsy, dwarfism, muscular dystrophy, and acid attack. It has been written in the act victims, but as you know that we don't call them victims, so they are acid attack survivors. So at present, SCPWD is working in with only these disabilities, though they are working like now we are going to introduce autism and learning disability as well in the list. So now you see in this slide, I think you will get to know the sector, different sectors, different job roles, and they are mapped to different disability. Like I'm taking like if it is a beauty and wellness, so assistant beauty therapist can do. The person who has speech and hearing impairment, if he is being trained how to do the work, then he just needs to know the work. It doesn't mean that he cannot hear or he hard of hearing or something like that, or speech issues, he cannot work. Same locomotor disability wala person also can do, and autism spectrum also can do. So like this, you will see almost 20 sectors we have covered till now, and 59 job roles. We are working more towards it, like taking more sectors into the picture and create more job roles for persons with disability. Okay, so here a very big question comes: why to hire PWDs? Everywhere you will see the politics, the dishonesty, the corruption. When you work with persons with disability, I'm telling you, it's my personal experience. You will not get all this. They are not demanding. Very limited requirements they have. They keep doing their work. They are very happy with different disability. Of course, they have the different issues, but when you are hiring, I would really like to stress upon this aspect that when you are hiring any person, person without disability, here I'll talk. What do you see as an HR person? That this work I need from this person, and then you hire. If you are seeing that that person is meeting your requirements, you hire that person. But with person with disability, when you see immediately attitude change, and then you say he cannot do this, rather than seeing that he cannot do certain things, just focus on what he can do. He's applying for job for certain roles which he knows he can do, and with little bit training here and there, and as it is, they're coming now with trainings, so they will be able to do if you change the attitude. So here, like when we talk about barrier free environment, we need to give them barrier free environment, attitudinal wise as well. Okay, so here I'll talk little more about how to communicate with them. We forget at times, have you seen that on roads, when you see a person with disability, with visual impairment, kala chashma laga ke koi hai, you suddenly feel that I must help them. You go and hold his hand and say, chaliye main aapko rasta cross kara deta hu. Did you even ask? Did you ask whether they want this or not? No, I'm sorry. If he's standing on road, please believe me, they are standing after training. Their training and mobility training has been done. That's why he is left on the road. He is being trained to cross the road. Ask if he's interested. Yes, then you can. Don't assume. Don't try to show your kindness by doing jobs for them without even asking. Okay, so a few very small things we will talk about. Always identify yourself and others who may be with you. Sometimes, I'll tell you a very small incident. I was going in a metro. One girl was sitting and one male, I was in a ladies coach. One girl saw a man sitting and she did not realize that that person was, visually impaired. And he was having low vision basically. So she said, ma'am, you look at him, he's sitting in metro. I said, go and talk. She went and came back, with teary eyes after 5 minutes. And she said, ma'am, I was not aware. Whenever you are seeing some kind of, person, I had one more incident like this, one person was shouting at other person and later he realized that the other person was deaf. So before reacting on things, first thing, what is your, what are you doing? Give, whenever you are training them, give specific directions. Talking with them, tell, hello, I'm Uma Sharma. I'll do it with you now. They see, imagine yourself closing your eyes. You don't know who is sitting next to you and somebody starts touching you. Don't touch them. A person who cannot see, he cannot hear. So don't shout, scream. Normal baat karni hai. Touch an arm or use their name when speaking. Before talking, please check their names. And if they say, I don't need your help, please value that response. Don't think, अरे क्या यार इतना attitude है, हम तो help कर रहे थे, आए नहीं. Don't do this. Very common mistake we do. Any person on wheelchair, we touch their wheelchair and we lean on them, almost literally. I've seen, because I work at ground level, so I know how people behave. They forget. See, for them, wheelchair is a body part. It's they are mobile because of that. You are mobile because you have 2 legs or 2 hands. So they are mobile with the help of wheelchair. So wheelchair is like their body parts. Please respect that. Don't lean or touch without asking or without no. You need to maintain some distance. I have had because I do conduct trainings, people forget when you don't have eyes, you can't see, you are visually impaired. How the other, थोड़ा left हो जाना, थोड़ा right चले जाना, अरे इधर नहीं जाना, उधर जाना. इधर उधर means क्या? Clear directions. They are being taught in training centers that if you are saying, listening or hearing, left means which side, right means which side. So remember that when you are giving them something, it should be concrete material when you are being giving training to them. And wow, such a lovely day. Sometimes, though I've worked a lot with people with visual impairment, so I know that they can even figure out the colors. You might be feeling that, though we will not get in detail. Okay, these are basic things you can read. Okay, now we are talking about hearing impairment. So by communicating with him, hearing impaired, see, person cannot hear, but he can see. So when you are dealing with them, first of all, there has to be a proper light so that they read lips as well. They are reading your physiology. So dealing with them, you are saying, hello, how are you? They know that you are making faces, that means you are not interested. So there has to be a smile when you are greeting them, hello, then they will understand, yes. Okay, they do lip read. So if light is not clearly, it's not there, light is not there, proper light, so then they have issues with that. Lot of times this problem has come, sometimes we have interpreter in between. From that somebody is training, interpreter and the person with hearing impairment. So generally what people do, people are looking at interpreter and they are thinking that only interpreter will tell the person with the disability. No, you keep seeing the person with disability, interpreter is doing his job, the person with hearing impairment knows what to do. Idhar dekhna hai, kya karna hai, they are aware. When they are not looking at you and you want to gain the attention, tap at the shoulder or go in front and show yourself that, okay, here, listen, look at me, I'm saying something. Sign language, we all are using. Sometimes we know that no, I'm not expert in sign language, so how can I talk to a person who cannot hear or has a hard of hearing? We all are using, we do like this, come here means this is a sign. And people have in all over the world different sign languages. Now in India it has compulsory, like we have standardized that Indian Sign Language will be used. But even in sectors you will see they have for the same sign, for the same word they have different signs. So it's okay, you can try. It's not difficult, it's not at all difficult to deal with them. Don't show that I cannot talk to them, or oh my god, I don't know how to deal with them. So remember, just very simple thing, remember as normal as we are, and with certain things that some disability etiquettes are there. Remember these things and then you will understand that how when you are talking, like very simple thing, even if I can hear with both my ears, in spite of that, when there is a sound, background noise is there, I have an issue when other person is talking to me. Do you remember bars and discos when we go, pubs, we are kya bola sunai nahi diya. Same. So reduce the background noise when you are talking to them, when you are dealing with them. These are basic things. Facial expressions. Remember, anybody can read the facial expressions. Okay. So rather than feeling that now we are talking about locomotor disability, it's not only with locomotor disabilities, with everybody you can offer shake hands. Even with I have done in my trainings, even with person with visual impairment, I say, can we shake hands? Haath mila sakte hain? And then they will tell you. If they are comfortable, they will tell you. And as I said, don't lean on chair, wheelchair. Eye level conversation. Have you seen when you stand, where is a wheelchair? Much lower level. And what do? We are standing and talking with person. Please come down at that level, and then talk. Use canes and crutches, assistive devices to walk or to, balance or that. Don't hold them or, don't shake while talking with them. We forget at times. We have seen a lot of accidents happening because of that. They lose balance. Okay, so never assume, as I said, always ask and give choices. If they are okay, no, please don't go. Devices are there, though in India we have very less opportunities where they can use, because mostly our disabled population is in villages. Only those who are able to go to therapy centers and they are living in cities and urban areas, they are able to access these kind of things. But here also a lot of things are there. How much accessibility is there and how much you yourself decide now. Think about in which building you work or study, how much disabled friendly it is. I have seen therapy centers and where basic disability friendly things are also not there. Forget about ramps or something. Ramp is just one thing we say. Many more things are required, and we need to work more on this. So disability etiquettes, as I've been talking about, I think we have already covered. Yeah. So this is a reflective activity. You can see that some learnings you must have got to know, and how it will impact your professional practice. I always give this to understand, because this will give you some kind of questions and maybe some kind of learning. And if you have any issues, any kind of query and more information, go to website. A lot of things available, how we are working, what all can be done. You can participate, you can contribute the way you can. So you can write your queries to us, and we give a reply on that. We can have this question answer round. If you have any question, I'm here to answer. I have to say stop sharing. Yes.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much for providing this deep sense of knowledge. It really changed my perception to look at the world in a new way. And my question is, ma'am, like the National Skill Development Incubation Centers, NSIC, one established in Okhla, New Delhi, that clearly works for the training and development of the people to make them young entrepreneurs. They have a number of business options available. When it comes to SCPWD, how does the training provided in SCPWD help the people to become a Divyangjan entrepreneur or to get them placed as in the company?
See, SCPWD mobilized training partners. So the organization you just mentioned about is a training partner for SCPWD. Like this, there are many organizations What do? They train people with disability, those who will be training them. SCPWD is giving training to them. Understood? Like I do the train the trainer program. So I'm training the people, those who will be working with, who will be training persons with disability. So like that, there are many organizations all over India. You will get all the details with their names and with their websites also, I guess. Those who are associated with SCPWD to mobilize, and do the skill development.
Okay. Thank you.
Shubham, you've been assigned to ask questions.
No, ma'am, there are other partners too are asking questions.
I'm very observant. So I've been having this. Only Shubham has the question. Nobody else has the question.
Uma is the most inquisitive student of our class, and we know that if only Shubham will be getting up every time asking pertinent questions, and he's doing his job really well. He knows that he's the one who's been asking questions every time. I know it looks very monotonous that it's always Shubham who's asking, but it is the way he does it in the classes as well. He's like that. So,
I have also a question. Ma'am, even after training them, main problem is people perspective towards such people. How do we change people perspective so that they are willing to employ people with disabilities?
We cannot change any person, so we can change only ourselves. Let's start with us. I changed my profession. I was in IT. I changed my profession, and then I got into. People asked me, do you have a child? They asked me, are you a parent? When I was changing, I said, yes, I'm a parent. So they said, Acha, what is the disability? क्या प्रॉब्लम है बच्चे को? I said नहीं, कुछ नहीं, मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि in this sector parent means parent of a special need child. My child doesn't have, and so I felt I wanted to work in this field. So I was teaching in St. Xavier's College, Mumbai University that time. I was teaching IT students, and I left and I got into this. So it is basically how you can do. You change your attitude. You talk 10 people. You tell about this. How like this only awareness will come, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.